Hey YouTube, how are we doing? I am Tommy, welcome back to my channel. Now, regulars for my channel will know that I do like to bring you new products for Triumph Bobber, and today is no exception. I've noticed over the last few months on Facebook groups and all that, and probably on Instagram as well, there's been a guy who's popped up going by the name Bobbershop, based in the UK. The guy's name is Scott, and anyway, I've been seeing these interesting Airbox Delete Kits and all that kind of stuff and thought they look interesting, but I don't really want to put them on my bike because I've got my little side pods just here with my numbers on, which is kind of my trademark now, so I can't get rid of those. But I would love to see it with an Airbox Delete Kit on there at some stage. But I just like these, my lovely painted covers by Mark Lloyd. Cheers, Mark. Anyway, so as time's gone on, I saw something pop up the other day. He's popped up and Scott has brought out a light set for the Triumph Bobber. Now, as you'll well be aware, if you've seen some of my previous videos, I've recently fitted the White Rose Customs tail tidy kit onto my bike, which really cleaned up the rear end of the bike nicely. And the front indicators on the Triumph Bobber, I've always been happy with those. I think they look a bit Art Deco-y, to be honest, and I love that. And as I say, always been pleased with them on my bike. However, having done the tail tidy and got rid of the mud guard and the massive lights and all that stuff on the back of the bike, they have started to stick out like Pinocchio's nose on the front of the bike, and we cannot be having that. So it was actually really great timing when Scott posted about his 3-in-1 light set for the Triumph Bobber, which he calls a Full Metal Jacket, by the way. So I reached out to Scott and asked him some questions, and he's actually sent me a set to take a look at and bang on my bobber to see what they're all about. So I'm going to tell you some more stuff about Scott's shop before we get into that. One thing I will say, the kit is excellent quality just here. It just comes in this little box. It comes with a card, basically, with a QR code on. When you scan the QR code, it brings up an instruction manual for all of the kits that he sells on the website. Normally, you know, I like to do a fitting video, but the instructions are blooming amazing and thorough in detail and all that kind of stuff. So you won't really get anything from me fitting them because it's all in the little pictorial instructions there. So I'm going to bang them onto the bike anyway. I'll do a quick time lapse and show you the main bits and speed through me fitting it, but I won't be doing a full instructional fitting video just now. Before we get into that, a little bit more about Scott's shop, bobbershop.co.uk it is. He basically caters for Triumph Bobber and Speedmaster, and he does Airbox, I've had to write some of this down because there's quite a few bits now, Airbox Delete Kits, which apparently are flying out the door, so good work. He also does an ignition relocation kit. That's not really something I've ever considered, but I guess it moves this somewhere else where either you can't see it or something like that. So I will look further into that actually, but I've never seen that as being an issue personally. He does a 3-in-1 light set, which they're all E-marked and road legal, by the way, these kits. For the front of the bike, there's also a tail tidy kit for the rear of the bike, and also 3-in-1 rear light setup for that as well. When I say about the tail tidy kit, Scott does a version of the tail tidy where you keep the rear mud guard, I'm pretty sure, but it ditches all of the massive big stuff basically that Triumph like to bang on there. So it loses all of that and integrates with the 3-in-1 rear lights just there. In the works is also a side mounted number plate mount. It's just making a few improvements to the final model on that one. And also, I've always kind of liked these chromey bits here on my bike, but Scott also does some black matte, I think they're matte black covers for both the single disc and the twin disc bobbers on there. So if you're in the market for any of this stuff, definitely check out on the bobbershop.co.uk website, because the quality that I've seen so far with these little 3-in-1 front lights is amazing actually. Very nice. Anyway, I think that's pretty much covered all the other stuff there. Number plate, full covers. Also, there's some wiring kits available as well on the website in case you wish to go for the side mounted number plate. You will need to relocate your number plate light in order to do so. I've covered the tail tidy kit and all that stuff. So yeah, excellent. Let's do a little whiz through of me fitting these lights I'm told it shouldn't take too long at all, and having looked through the instructions, I can't help but to agree. It looks very straightforward, but one thing I haven't ever done is move the tank. I've lifted it up just slightly to mess about with the COC Springer and the Tom Hurley Springer seats, which I've had to take off this morning, unfortunately. It's on its way back to you, Tom. Yeah, I've lifted the tank previously, but to get to the wiring harness, which is on the bulkhead of the bike in the front of the frame, you have to lift up the tank and move it back towards the seat of the bike a little bit, just so you can gain access to the wiring for the front indicators. So I am going to get on with that now. Let's do it. Okay, just before I get into that, I just wanted to show you these little lights just here. I'll do a side-by-side comparison. In fact, I'll bung a photo up because I've taken a photo yesterday of the two next to each other. There is a vast difference. Anyway, this is the light setup. It comprises this small 3-in-1 light just here, and this is a bracket that Scott also produces, which fits directly into the mounting point on the Triumph Bobber, where your massive indicators will fit into. So it basically is plug and play. You can get this with different connectors, whether you're fitting it onto a Triumph or just a universal fit. But these actually have the Triumph, I think they're genuine Triumph, push connectors ready to fit straight into the Triumph wiring loom. So a very, very nicely made piece of kit, I have to say. So I'm looking forward to getting these fitted. Let's chat, more getting on with it. Okay, hope I'm in focus there. Okay, so that was a really easy job to do, actually. I reckon a 15 or 20-minute job, you should have that done, but set aside half an hour just to be on the safe side. It took me about an hour and a half, obviously, because I'm filming, I have to keep stopping and moving cameras and setting it up and doing all that sort of stuff. But yeah, really easy job, actually. Basically, you just have to move the tank backwards, which for myself was quite daunting, actually, because I've never done that before. But actually, as it turns out, if you can move it back about 5 inches, that's all you need. And when you're done, it just slides right back onto the bracket, and then you tighten up the 2 bolts. So that was easy enough. The other thing, I don't really like getting involved with wiring and stuff because I'm not an auto electrician. I mean, I'm not a mechanic either, but I've managed all the other stuff that I've done to my bike. So actually this was a walk in the park. You just disconnect 4 wires, connect 4 other wires back up that come with the kit. Make sure it's all clamped on the bike nicely, and you're set to go. The only tools that I've used actually is a 5mm Allen key to undo the clamps on the forks, a 10mm spanner for disconnecting the battery before we got started, a 12mm socket for removing the tank bolts, and a T20 Torx bit for, what was that for? I think it was for undoing the bracket underneath the front of the frame. In actual fact, it looks like I probably could have done that without moving the frame, because I can still see the bracket, but removing the frame, sorry, the tank, just made it easier to access. So I'm glad I did that. And also now I know how to do it, and it's not as daunting as it might seem. I'm going to get out and do final alignment before nipping them up tight once I've got the bike on flat ground and all that kind of stuff. It is important, once you've been messing about with wiring and stuff at the front of the bike, just make sure you still got the full freedom of movement without any wires getting pinched or stretched, and it seems we're all good. I've got to shoot off now on the school run, as is always the case. But I will come back tomorrow and get it outside and show you what it's like, as long as it's not raining. Right, since I've got your attention, I have had a number of people ask me since I put out my mods phase 2 video, been asking me about my stealth red reflective Triumph Bobber seat reflectors, which replace obviously the reflector that you take off your bike when you fit the tail tidy. A number of people have asked me about this. I have now started producing these and they are now on my website, so do go and check out veloviz.co.uk. Just search stealth and you'll find them, and you'll also see a load of other stealth reflective stickers. They're discrete stickers basically. They almost look black but they reflect back orange or red depending on the application, so do check those out. We've got some lovely fork stickers as well, so you can sack off those nasty massive orange plastic ones. Check it out, veloviz.co.uk. Right, so there you have it. This has been the FMJ lights by bobbershop.co.uk. Okay, you probably noticed there, it's taken me a little while to make this video. The reason being, when I fitted the lights, basically, when I turned the ignition on, it was okay, it was fine, and the lights were operating perfectly, having changed the settings on the Triumph Bobber dash here to get the right LED light setting. However, it did transpire the next day when I popped to the post office, I noticed that the lights were hyper flashing. Now the reason this was because when I tested it in my workshop, I tested it just with the ignition on, so the battery's only producing 12 volts. However, with the engine running, it's actually producing 14 volts when the alternator kicks in, and also what that does is increases the voltage running through the system. Now what happens is when you've got just 2 LED lights on, what was happening when there was just 2 LED lights on, it wasn't drawing enough current, so it was putting the system into panic mode, which creates the hyper flash. It's okay with the hazards on, because when you've got all 4 lights flashing at the same time, it's creating enough, drawing enough current for the system to think, yeah, this is all good, let's crack on as per usual. However, when you are just using the indicators left or right, you're only using 2 blinkers at the same time, which is not drawing enough current. So my solution was to fit a Kellerman iLoad IL1 to the system. Basically, it just splices into the cables for the new LEDs at the front. And it was very easy to fit. In fact, I've made an instructional video of how to fit that. I haven't uploaded it yet, but it will be coming along shortly, so do keep an eye out for that, because it is really easy to fit. It costs about 25 quid, something like that, and it was just plug and play. I spliced into the connectors and it worked perfectly. One thing I would like to add, when I've been talking with Scott with regards to this, this can happen sometimes when you have like a mismatch of the lights basically. Now on the rear of my bike, I've got Kellerman rear lights, 3-in-1 LEDs, and at the front obviously I've got the Bobbershop Full Metal Jacket version, and there was a little bit of a conflict there where there was just not enough current being drawn, which is why I've had to fit this, I think it's a resistor or something like that, I don't know the technicalities, but that has fixed it. But Scott has assured me that if you fit a full setup of the FMJs on the front of the bike and a tail tidy kit which comes with the FMJ rear lights, you don't have this issue. It's just all plug and play, change the setting on the dash, it takes about 2 minutes and you've got the correct flash rate, so no more hyper flash. Anyway, thank you very much for sending these out to me, Scott. I've very much enjoyed putting these on my bike and testing them out, and actually you've made a brilliant product, so congratulations. If you're in the market for a set of lights front or rear for your bobber, then definitely go to check out bobbershop.co.uk, because there's a load of stuff on there which I've previously covered other than lights, so you can get out your bobber in no time. And to avoid any of this issue that I've had with the hyper flashing, then you might as well just buy the front and the rear set at the same time, and you know, save yourself a little bit of bother just there. Anyway, thank you very much. I would like to point out Scott has been gracious enough to give me a discount code, so you can save 10% on your entire order by using the code Tommy74, Tommy74, and that will get you 10% off site-wide. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you found this useful and you've enjoyed watching about these new light sets from Scott. And yeah, until next time.
Catch you later.